Hey guys, before we get going on today's tip, just want to talk about a little something. I've been catching them on the big swim baits, but today I knew because of all the rain we've had and all the water conditions, and just kind of suspected that eventually the water would muddy up enough where I couldn't. So I caught a nice one here. It's on a bait. Let this go. Really awesome bait. It's a 6 cents Axis. It's like a square bill, but it's got that movable front bill. And I mean, it's got a super wide wobble. It's just always searching and going like this and moving and runs forward. But it always comes back to center. A wonderful bait to throw. Of course, chartreuse blackback, my favorite all-time square bill color. But it's a wonderful bait to throw in muddy water. So guys, let's get into the tip today. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back. Part 3, now we're going to discuss the proper angle. Now, we've discussed the improper angles, Garmin's height. We've discussed too low. What we're discussing now is what I believe to be the optimum angle for perspective mode. Perspective mode, like we've talked about before, primarily at shallow water. We'll call that 6, let's call that 0 right up here. We're going to put my favorite range when I'm fishing shallow water. And I'm not talking about throwing lipless crankbaits across grass flats. That is a awesome technique to use with perspective mode because you can see those lanes in the grass. You can see so many things. You can be able to see the fish in the lanes. Awesome technique. But what we're talking about is, say, fishing going down the bank, as a lot of people do. In the South, that's a primary technique that holds true even in the winter months, because around the South, or they get on those stumps for heat, and sometimes on nice warm days after we've had the real cold days and you get 4 or 5 warm days in a row, those fish will pull up in very shallow water. We're talking 3, 4, 5 foot of water, and get on those stumps for warmth. They'll start feeding up, and look, they're not very far from the spawn, especially in the month of January. They're just waiting on the right day length and moon phase, and all of a sudden, bam, bam, they're up there, and the big girl's laying them eggs down. So let's talk about proper angle. So when you're in the shallow water, you're really wanting, and it comes from a lot of people, you're really wanting to see the fish out in front of you. You're not worried about what's down in front of you, down below you, out in front of you, cruising around, located on stumps. You may have a tree that's, say, coming out of the water right here. We'll call this a tree right here. And I know that right there. And they'll get on the side of that tree, kind of suspend up because it's nice and warm, getting that sunshine and things like that. And if you got it angled down too low, you'll never see the tree, or you never see the object on the tree. But when you have the proper angle, you get a few things. You get it further out. So I set mine on about 40 to 50 foot. I don't go 70, 80, 90, 100. I may do that when you're on a nice big 7, 8, 9 foot flat. You're throwing the throwing the lipless baits through grass, ripping them out, things like that. But what we're talking about here, I'll put it on 40 to 50 feet. We'll put that up there, 40 feet. Now, what that's going to allow me to do is to make short, accurate casts. Because what I'm doing is I'm taking that swim baits, I'm taking that spinner bait, that square bill, the glide baits, and those baits, and I'm making short, accurate casts to visible bass on my Livescope unit. Now, with perspective mode, so now, even top waters later on in the year, with it angled just slightly up, and here we go, we have the summit mount, and you can see, it's slightly pointed down, but remember, with the 20-degree angle, you got slide up, slide down, it's perfect. So you got about 10 degrees pointing up, 10 degrees going down, it's perfect. Your middle line being right in there. Now, when you get that proper angle, and you'll be able to see this on your little emblem in the top, it's the one time where I really like the icon, is being able to see exactly where my transducer is pointed. Now here's one thing that I will tell you. If you have it calibrated, the little icon where it shows you the angle of your transducer is not there. So this is one point in time where I will tell you not to calibrate. I'm a stickler for calibration, but I don't believe in calibration when you're doing perspective mode. So if you have it forward calibrated, when you switch it over there to perspective mode, you'll lose your calibration anyway because it can only hold one calibration. But let's just say now we got it angled correctly. Now you can throw that spinner bait out there and you can reel it down. And look how much visible as it comes back to the boat. you'll have that line of visibility and be able to see it on your unit the whole way back and be able to see those fish reactions. If you've got a crankbait that dives and it comes down like this and then starts up, because that's what it does, you'll be able to see it. Because if you make the long cast, you'll be able to see it more. Now, you may possibly lose it a little bit right here as it comes up, but I'm looking outward and casting at visible fish outward. I'm not worried about what's under the boat, because by the time I get to where this is under the boat, I've already fished it. So where I'm looking out, and that's why we want to work about proper angle. And by doing that, so not only that, you will start to see some flickering on the screen. When you have it angled high, you will start to pick up the wave action a little bit on the surface. Now that tells me one thing: if I can pick up the wave action of the surface and the reflection of it, I can also pick up a buzzbait or a topwater, a popper, or things like that. And that is amazing, because if you're throwing a buzzbait, a lot of times fish will trail it and then stop. And then you can take and throw a Cinco right where he's at, or whatever follow-up bait you choose, and catch those fish. I've done it on a few videos. I actually have a few videos where I've shown that. So knowing that the proper angle is up more, and you can get that proper angle, it's going to allow you more success, and it's going to allow you to see more things into your perspective mode. This is the proper angle, and that's going to help it. But guys, I think that helps, and that's part 3 of it. And we may even do a part 4 where we talk about deeper water and how deeper water may change the angle if you're trying to find some deeper water, if you're trying to find some drains and things like that. But you know, what I might do is put together a video showing, and I have a video that shows all these proper angles, and we'll do that as part 4, where I show too low, too high, in the middle, just right. You'll see just the perfect angle, and show you how it shows, being able to show you the things that you need to see. I do want to touch on one thing. I talked about in yesterday's video how I was going to do complete A-rig packages. Now I've decided to do it, so here's what I've done. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sell, and it's come in a pack of 5. We're going to call it the A-rig package, because it's the perfect, the 4-inch bait is the absolute perfect. I'm going to sell 4 baits. And it won't have the shad dot. It'll just have 4 solid baits that you put on your forearms that go around the A-rig. Then on the 5th one, you'll get a fully rigged, hand-poured swim bait with eyes, shad dot, and it'll be, of course, the matching color, but it'll have the eyes and the shad dot, so it'll be able to draw you in. They'll put that on your 5th one, your middle wire, bam, bam, bam. And we're going to sell that package, I know this sounds great, $10. Maybe $10. You buy the whole package, A-rig, free shipping. So $10 for an A-rig pack. It'll be up on the website this evening, and it'll be a $10 A-rig pack. So you get 4 that are with a little bit less detail, that makes it a little bit for me to pour, a little bit less time. I can boom, boom, pop them out. And then we'll have 1 with all the details, the eyes, the shad dots that you put on your middle hook. We'll call it the A-rig package. Maybe call it the GG's A-rig package. You never know what we're going to call it. But we'll call it something cool. $10. That's right, $10. 4 of those, 1 with the really good detail. And you'll call it the A-rig pack. You'll be able to get those. That way you slap it. You can just get it, slap it straight on your A-rig, and you're ready to go fishing. And so that's perfect. And also, we're going to talk about the app that's coming out. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. The app is going to be awesome. It's an app that I've had a little hand in, and it's going to be free. And what we're going to do is everybody's going to get there, and I'm asking every person that watches this, download the app. Get on there, start putting pictures in. When you go fishing, you can mark your the docks. And what we're trying to do is create a fishing community that's a little different. It's not going to be, it's free. You don't have to pay nothing. That's awesome. Everybody's going to get on there. We're going to share fishing tips. You'll see links to my videos, but there'll be links to saltwater videos, links to hunting videos. It's not just fishing, it's hunting, it's fishing, it's duck hunting, it's deer hunting, squirrel hunting. Whatever you want to put on there, you can do it. And when you go to a ramp, you'll be able to mark that ramp, put whether it's, if you want to. You don't have to share it. You can keep your points private. You can also store all your fishing spots on there if you'd like to. But if you go to a ramp and say it costs $3, you can mark that ramp, put $3. That way people can start, we can start to create a fishing community. It's brand new, it's only been out a few days, like 2. So there's not a lot of information on there, but we need people to get on there. Start posting your pictures, start doing it. Let's get away from that, the Facebook it's anti-God, it's anti-everything, it's anti-family. They don't want you to do anything. Let's get over to, and let's put it on a site where we, as fishermen, hunters, can, if you got something to say about God, do so. And do it your way. But guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Ring the bell.